Hello everyone, Willie Choi. It's first online training Q&A session of the electrical system. You watch the total two numbers of the online training content as the engine starting and stop, a pause and gauge panel. As my understanding is, the electric system is a little bit clearer than other system. After you watching the content, we got the total 10 question or doubt from your side. Today, we will make it clear. Also, today's session will take around 1 hour and it depends on your interest and your communication. Let's discuss it together with the chatting. Talk with us, right? Okay, let's go to the first question. First question about the troubleshooting case of the engine starting system. The machine condition. And yeah, apples connect 150 pin is ground. So I will show you the schematic. Anyhow, this pin is connecting with the ground, okay? And also disconnect the power supply by starter switch and starter by the starter relay. Anyhow, the starter relay is disconnected by the this signal. The second one, the pilot cutoff switch is on condition, right? Pilot cutoff is on means not working condition, right? The lever position is where? Here or here? Downside, right? It is on condition. Pilot cut off on condition. And also the machine condition, engine RPM is under 500. Monitor password is correct. Release the immobilize function. Anyhow, in order to start engine, number 2, number 3, number 4 condition should be met. At that time, we can start the engine, right? But now, in this case, the machine doesn't start, right? I think. Why? Maybe this one. Anyhow, the main point, main point of starting problem is, this one. So I will show you the schematic once again. Basically, the EPOS takes the pilot cutoff on condition, right? It's ready to starting. And also, what it is? Starter controller, right? Starter controller takes the engine RPM signal from where? From alternator, right? Anyhow, below 500, right? It also one of the the condition of the starting, right? And also there are monitor panel here, right? It also communicate with the EPOS for what? Immobilizer. Anyway, password is okay, so machine can start. Anyhow, 3 condition is okay now, right? But we can start engine. But there are one control signal from the EPOS, right? EPOS give the one signal to the where? Starter controller, starter relay 2, right? Basically, the long password or pilot cutoff is off condition. That means working condition, right? Up position. At that time, EPOS give the signal to the starter relay 2. It should be ground condition by EPOS. At that time, what about this? It should be energized, right? And also the terminal should be going down. Finally, the power, electric power, does not go to the relay 1. Anyhow, no power relay 1 doesn't work, even it is okay, right? Finally, it doesn't work. Finally, relay 1 does not work together. At the time, the power does not provide to the starter motor. That's why finally the starting is not working. Starting is not possible, right? So once again, starter relay 2 control to the starter relay 1. If starter relay 2 does not work, I mean not working at the time, it also doesn't work. That's why starting is not possible. Alright? Any question? For example, you know that this one connector number 115 is the short. This line should be short with the ground condition at the time. What about this? It always working, right? At that time, even good condition, it is working condition at the time. Always, disconnect conditions. So start relay doesn't work. So we are not able to the start engine, right? So for example, the start relay is stuck like this. Stuck is a disconnect position. It also doesn't work, right? We are not able to start the engine, right? And then some more reason we have. Let's think about that one. Maybe fuse, right? We have to burn out the fuse at time it doesn't work, right? There are lots of reasons. Okay?
And then Apples has a problem.
Yes, mainly a post should be connecting the ground depends on this condition and then that condition, right? But a post problem, I'm not sure, maybe it is always ground at the time it works, right? Disconnect position at the time not able to start, right? There are lots of reasons. Fuse, a post fail, or stuck, or it's not working. And also sometimes it also the starter controller also has a problem. Or starter one also has a problem. Anyhow, in case of this, we are able to start engine, right? How? Just to connect directly this, take it out, this relay and then put it connecting to the wire directly like this. At that time, we can start engine. If it is okay, it was okay. All right. Any question? Anyhow, if you have some question, please let me know. Chat, right? Chat. Right? We go next. All right, next question. The starter controller. The negative signal comes out at the S terminal when starting position and when the engine running change the positive signal. Why? What happened? So before starting the explanation about that one, what is function of the starter controller? Starting, and then after starting, at the time the operator turn the key switch at the time the starter doesn't work, right? One of the protection while engine, right? You know this one very well, right? So starter relay, there are total 1, 2, 3, 4 connector here, right? Basically, starter controller has the N type of the transistor inside, right? So if start controller get the P signal from where? From alternator, right? engine RPM, right? If engine RPM is more than 500, at that time, the ground should be disconnect. No more ground. That time, this line does not connecting to the ground, right? So what about this? The position should be here. That's why the starting signal does not go to the starter motor. When RPM is over than 500, engine running condition, and the operator turn on the key switch with the starting position. That time, what about this? Disconnect, right? Not connecting to the ground condition. At that time, what about this? The terminal should be upside. So starting signal does not connecting to the this line, so not able to do the starting. But below 5, below 5, at that time, this line should be connect, right? So what about this? It should be energizing. So starting power should be connecting to the starter motor, right? If starter controller gets a starting signal P alternator, at that time the base of the transistor is not bias. So the current of the S, right, cannot go to the E terminal, ground terminal. So at that time, not able to, ground. At that time, it energized. At that time, we can start engine, but disconnect, no power here at the time. The connection should be upside. At the time, we are not able to start engine, right? Anyhow, the starter controller is one of the protection of the starter while engine is running. All right. All right. Any other question about this? No question. All right. We go next question. So it also engine starting system question. So one of the questions is what is different between old DX220 LCA and new DX225 LCA of the engine starting system. Actually, the old one. Recently, we launched the new DX225 LCA. The project name is YMK22. Anyhow, what is different of the starting system? So the answer is like this. All the DX225, the components is, EPOS, starter relay 2, starter relay 1, and starter controller. But the new, as I mentioned, YMK22 is a new machine, new DX225, EPOS, but no starter relay 2, starter relay 1 only, and then no starter controller. Previous one, regarding to the starting system, there are total 3 and 4 components here, right? But new machine, only 2, EPOS and then starter relay 1. So how does it work? The old one, starter controller control the starter controller control the starter relay 1, right? And also starter relay 2 also control the starter relay 1. So starter relay 2 is controlled by the EPOS. Anyhow, total 1, 2, 3, 4 components here, right? But the new machine no start relay 2, no controller. Basically, this one this one is covered by the ePOS. ePOS know whether engine is running or not. All right. At that time, the ePOS control the start relay 1 only to this line. Engine RPM is low engine RPM at the time, or the immobilizer, right? At the time, like this. So possible to starting engine, but high engine RPM over than 500, and also immobilize or pilot cut at time, the ePOS makes this line ground, right? At that time, the power line should be cut it, so not able to starting the machine, right? Previous machine that the total 2, 3, and 4 control, 4 components. But the new DX225, we call it YMC220, has the only 2 components with the ePOS and then starter relay 1. That is different. Mostly, the ePOS will do the machine control of the starting, right? Through the only one relay. All right? There is a difference between old and new machine. All right? Any question? Please give your message to the chat. All right. Question number 4. New DX225SA. We call it, this is a project name is YMC22, right? Has the no starter controller, right? We don't have the machine. We don't have the starter controller, right? So previous one, the starter controller get the P signal from the alternator, right? But no starter controller. So how? What is the function? Sorry, what is P terminal has no function, right? That's right. There are no function. Previous one, alternator here, right? This signal goes to the starter controller. But new machine, no more starter controller. This signal goes directly to the ePOS, right? And then our meter, right? Whether working or not. Basically, engine RPM is sensing by the engine speed sensor, right? ePOS takes the engine speed from the engine speed sensor. At the time, the ePOS know engine running and then engine RPM. So for example, 100 below than 500 time, there are one relay here, right? So give the signal or not to starting the engine, right? Anyhow, previous one we use this, but new machine doesn't use, only to the ePOS, right? Running signal, running, working, and then our meter only. There is a difference between DX2 old machine and then new machine. All right? Go next. Question about the throttle controller. So what the question? If wire is disconnect, this is a ePOS, right? This is a throttle controller. If those wire is disconnect or short, right, between these components and then this. At the time, any error code displayed on the monitor, or can you recognize it with some, LED lamp on the throttle controller? Short or open at that time, some symptom or some, any failure information on the machine, right? Question. So the answer is like this. Actually, we don't have any error code to recognize disconnect or short. For example, disconnect, 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 disconnect. That time, not able to see any error code on the monitor panel. Even short, also no error code, right? Cut the wiring, no error code and no information. Short also, no error code and no value information, right? But we check it when you are swiping of the wire here. For example, this line should be here. This line should be here. Swipe. At that time, we can see the some failure information through the LED light here, right? There are total 3 LED light here, right? So we can see the LED. Total 4. 3. Sorry, 3. Right? 3 right here. At that time, we can see the some failure information through the light swiping, right? But no error code on the monitor panel, right? So when you are testing at the time, swiping at the time, all light is goes on. Sorry. All light is gone. No light when you are swiping here, right? Okay, anyhow, no error code. When you problem here, when you face the problem here at the time, no error code on the monitor panel, right? No information as well, right? But swiping, we can check some light. We can see the light. Light is gone. All of the light is gone. All right? Okay. Go next. The question about the sensor function. What is function to the pressure value? What function do pressure value from the main pump pressure sensor and the RPM value from the engine speed sensor useful, right? We have the 2 pressure sensor here, right? And so we have the 1 engine speed sensor here, right? So basically, what is the function of this? What is the function of this engine speed sensor? So we summarize here. Pressure sensor, we have the 2 pressure sensor, right? Front and then rear, right? Anyhow, the first function, display the front or rear pressure on a monitor panel. The second one is, auto speed traveling, right? If system pressure is high at the time, it should be low speed. System pressure is low at the time, high speed. Automatically, right? And also, we also use this information for the relief cutoff function. The system pressure is too high around the relief pressure. At that time, EPPR current should be 700 milliampere, right? So we use the 3 function with the pressure sensor. Engine RPM, engine speed sensor, same. Display the engine RPM on the monitor panel, and also secondary pressure with the EPPR, the power control, power shift. All right, RPM is going down at that time. It supposed to know the machine get the load, so it supposed to keep the EPPR to decrease flow, right? And also auto traveling speed as well, right? It doesn't work below the 1,500, 1,400. Above the 1,400 time, the auto speed is work, right? And also, what about this? Restarting protection. Actually, this one, YMC, right? Also YMK, right? YMK machine. Previous one, engine start controller get the signal from the alternator to protect the restarting. But new machine, right? The speed sensor give the signal to the EPOS for restarting protection, right? EPOS sensing the engine RPM and then control to the where? Start relay 1, right? Start relay 1, right? So the EPOS sensing the engine RPM signal, right? Same, sensing the cranking RPM, right? Cranking RPM engine signal. Same meaning like this. All right? Okay? Any other question?
Good question, sir. Good question, sir.
Even if switch off auto idle, it can control trend pressure.
Hmm?
Even we switch off auto idle, it can control to trend pressure.
Sorry, for me?
Yeah.
If sorry, say again.
Switch off auto idle.
Auto idle is off, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it can control trend pressure. 이 차는 주는
Auto idle off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also what is the question exactly?
Even we switch off auto idle, it can control trend pressure. It is in engine RPM sensor function.
Second pressure?
Yeah.
Auto idle is off. You mean, is it related with the auto idle, you mean? Right. Basically, the EPOS, when EPOS get the low engine RPM, right? Right? Low engine RPM. That means it doesn't work, right? EPOS takes the low engine RPM. At that time, EPOS know the machine doesn't work. At that time, EPOS gives the signal to the EPPR 700 milliampere like the minimum flow discharging. Anyhow, low engine RPM, EPOS gives the signal to the EPPR to the EPPR valve to make the minimum flow. 챕터 왔나? 어디? Even the switch
이거 trend pressure control.
second pressure, right?
네.
auto idle. 응?
세컨드 프레셔 컨트롤링 미리 기계를 벨트 써 있잖아요.
이거.
이거.
Alright, this one, right? Second pressure control with the EPPR, right? So anyhow, EPOS, right? Once again, EPOS takes the engine signal, whether high or low, right? At that time, low engine RPM at the time, the EPOS control the, EPPR pressure to the EPPR valve, right? So you mean auto idle, right? Auto idle. Auto idle, when you have pressed auto idle at that time, as my understanding, auto idle RPM is low, right? At that time, it makes the minimum, right? When operator touching the the joystick at the time, auto idle is released. Auto idle is released at the time, it should be increased, right? Increase. The flow is increased. So you mean it is related with the auto idle. Auto idle. Actually, no, we have checked it. So now just I'm explain about the, the engine speed sensor, right? But auto idle, I cannot remember.
PX and PI sensor. Just cruise the PX and PI sensor.
Ah, right. PXPY, right? Yes, yes, that's right. I remember this one. EPOS also takes the PXPY signal. At that time, they know front working or traveling. And also, it should be give the signal to the EPPR, right? Anyhow, PXPY also controlled by the EPPR pressure. PXPY means auto idle, right? Auto idle. Yes, 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 that's right. Once again, auto idle also signal also controlled by the EPPR pressure by the EPOS, right? I just confused about that one. All right, EPPR, sorry, auto idle also relate with the engine. Sorry, the auto idle also relate with the EPPR secondary pressure, right? Actually, this one is only I just explained about the engine RPM sensor, but your question is EPPR with the EPOS, right? Anyhow, I make clear. The auto idle also relate with the secondary pressure of the EPPR by the EPOS, right? All right. Okay, we go next slide. All right. Throttle controller and the EPPR question. Why do the battery relays have two power supply? Eh? Why do the battery relay have two power supply from key switch and from the R terminal of the alternator?
Why connected alternator R terminal to the battery relay? Even though we have a key switch line.
So the question is, the battery relay, right? Battery relay here, right? Why do battery relay have the two power supply from key switch and when you see here, this line is from the key switch here, right? This line from the alternator, right? The question is like this. Why the battery relay has the two signal here, right? Two signal. Actually, this signal is okay, but why it also takes this signal? Two signal, right? So the main question is like this. Anyhow, the battery relay has to get the two signal from the key or alternator. Why? The answer is like this. So for example, when engine stop, at that time engine does not stop at once, right? Still a little bit rotating, right? You know this, right? While engine stopping with the key off condition, engine and the alternator is not able to stop at once, still slightly turning due to the rotational power, right? At that time, what about alternator? Even key off condition, when alternator is rotating, what about this? At that time, the alternator also generating the power, the current, right? In a short time. But at that time, this power should be goes to the battery, through the battery relay, right? For example, alternator here, right? Still make the alternator here, right? Still make the power. This is the battery relay here, right? So for example, rotating while stopping, power here. At that time, it should be disconnect. What about this power? Power should be accumulated here, right? There is some problem, no relief. Anyhow, while alternator is rotating, At that time, what about this? Battery relay also connecting together. So discharging power should be goes the tank side, right? Why alternator stop? At that time, the battery relay also stop, disconnect. At that time, no power to the battery. So battery is like the tank on the electric circuit. So generating the current can go to be battery. And if no line, the current should be electric device and then can be made some damage. Why? Power should be accumulated here. Line is cutting. Still make the power here. How does this power should be released? No release at time there's some problem, so damage. So while alternator is rotating, this power should be goes to the battery relay and then connecting to the battery. So consuming. After stop at that time, disconnect and then no more damage, right? Got it? Anyhow, while alternator rotating at the time, the battery relay also connecting continuously, right? Once again, while alternator is rotating, even this line is, cut it. But while alternator is rotating, the power should be goes to the battery relay and then energizing. So the power should be goes to the battery side. So at the time there are no any some problem or no any damage of the each component. Right? Y2 for protection the some the components or release the the power to the battery side. Okay? Any question? All right. We go to the next 8th question. Why does the R2 terminal gives the power supply to the EPOS at starting position of the key switch? Starting position at the time, key switch connecting to the R, and then finally this line goes to this power should be EPOS, right? So why we make it? The answer is like this. Right? The R2 is connecting to the EPOS, right? To informing, to know the key starting position, cranking position, right? Right? Key switch, just the key starting position. After starting, sorry, right? We mentioned here, right? Key starting position. Just the EPOS know that the key starting, right? At that time, give the signal to the preheat condition. While starting at the time, preheat also work at the same time while starting. All right? Just the EPOS node, cranking condition. And then maybe, EPOS give some signal to the preheat to the heating of the machine. And while cranking at the time, preheat is working automatically. Actually, it depends on the temperature. Maybe below 10 Celsius at the time it works. Above the 10 Celsius of the coolant at the time it doesn't works, right? And now recognized to know the starting condition of the machine. All right? Question? No question? We go to the next slide. What is the main function? What is the main function of the shield? Shield, right? There are two lines here, right? But there are some shield wiring here. Yeah? What is the function? The answer is here. Basically, when current is flowing right here. When current flows are on the Y at the time, magnetic field force is, generating here, right? Magnetic field. When current is, it is, the science, or the basic science of the, the electrical, right? Basic electrical, the basic. When current is flowing at the time, nearby here, the magnetic, energizing field of power is generated here, right? So anyhow, at that time, there are some, electrical noise there, noise. So actually, the can is very sensitive, right? You mentioned here, right? Can line is a communication line, so it is very sensitive. At that time, there are some, magnetic field effect, or magnetic field is some power, has some, makes some noise. So when you are make the, shield on the line at the time, it should be reduced, or it should be protect. So more stable, the signal should be get in the can line, right? Anyhow, this shield is for the, the protect the, the noise on the, line, can or some other line, reduce the noise or protect the noise. All right? The wiring here, right? There are shield coil is like this. So this shield coil is protect of the noise of the, this line, or reduce of the signal noise. Okay? All right. Any question? No question? We go to the next slide. Power supply. So what question? Some questions. Some of the machine, the main power supply for starter motor pass to the battery, right? But some machine directly goes the starter. Some machine like this, and then like this. But other machine, some machine is directly connecting to the starter line. Actually, recently we used this system. So the answer is like this. Our wiring concept is now changed to the connect power supply for starting motor directly. Previous one, the wiring should be starter controller through the, the starter relay. Main relay. But now we change the whole, concept of the wiring directly. So if resistor value is increasing, the current value also decreasing, right? By the ohm. So now we connect the battery line directly to the starter, right? So the motor needs some big amount of the current, right, to rotating the engine. So recently we used the, this power to the starter motor directly. No resistor. Big current here, right? So easy to starting the engine. All right. So last question. What is the function of the LED on a throttle controller, right? There are total 3 LED here, right? Yellow, green, red. So when the throttle control is working time, you can see the some indication through this light, right? So like this. For example, there are total 3 right here, right? Engine RPM is increase, right? Increase engine RPM. Actually, slightly turn ons, right? It also slightly turn on, but the green should be, the blank, blink, right? Previous up, bright, light, but recently we changed some logic. So all light is slightly on, but increase engine RPM at the time it is blanket, right? So decrease condition, all light is on, but red one is blanket while decreasing engine RPM, right? So for example, the engine stop, same RPM with the dial time, slightly lighting, right? So for example, overload. At that time, 2 light is off and then 1 light is slightly on. No power at the time, all light is off. Basically, when you see the throttle controller, you may see this position. Slightly on, 3 light is slightly on. So increase RPM at the time, blanket here. Green is blanket, while increase engine RPM. Decrease RPM at the time, red one is a blanket, while decrease RPM. Okay? So you can see this LED, whether which condition, increase RPM, decrease RPM, or stop, or overload. So you can see, you can check the engine RPM working condition through the LED. All right. LED indicates recognize the change status of the engine RPM by engine controller motor. Right. This engine through 3 LED light to display the engine RPM control condition. All right. So any other question? So please give me the chat. Let me check. Any question? No question? Hmm? Hmm? All right, no question? Any doubt? No question?
Oh, okay.
So,
What is the potential in the last question?
potentiometer. So, just a minute. So, actually, this is one of the potentiometer here, right? Actually, this is potentiometer dial here, right? And also this one, potentiometer here, right? When, what it is, this is throttle controller, right? So for example, the throttle controller here, right? When motor is rotating, at that time, this potentiometer also working together. So finally, it should be gives the feedback to throttle controller here, right? Throttle controller here, right? LED is here, sorry, LED is here. Anyhow, the throttle controller needs the exact position of the motor lever right here, right? For example, this position or that position. So the potentiometer sensing this angle, this position exactly, so gives the feedback. So finally, EPOS controller get this signal and then input signal of the dial. So it compare the value, exact value. So for example, same value at the time stop. For example, the operator turn the dial this position. At that time there are some gap, right? At that time the throttle controller gives the signal to the motor to rotating. So the feedback signal should be here. At the time, stop. Anyhow, the potentiometer is sensing the exact position of the this lever, and then one of the some reference value to control the starter as a throttle controller motor. One of the feedback signal. Right? The function of the throttle controller is feedback signal to for working of the throttle motor. Okay, one of the feedback signal. So throttle must be give the signal to the EPOS throttle controller. Okay, this is one of the feedback signal. All right. All right. Any other question? Actually, the potentiometer is very important to the the throttle motor here, right? Problem at the time, no feedback signal. At that time, the controller does not know exact position of the lever, throttle position. So maybe some continuously work or stop. It doesn't work or continuously working. Keep the signal continuously. It's very important to give the signal to the throttle controller for the feedback. Okay. Right. Any other question? Okay. Any question?
Yeah, from Hamid. In YMK, if EPOS is damaged, then how to start and how is the protection against starter motor overrunning?
YMK. Is there any some emergency start? Actually, we have to open the the schematic first. So just a minute. 이거 우리가 그 있나? emergency start가? Actually, basically the YMK. I'm not sure. I have to check the the schematic. Okay. But YMK 22, if EPOS is a failure or damage, at that time we are not able to start engine. At that time, we use this. Anyhow, key switch is okay, right? At that time, EPOS damage. At that time, EPOS damage is not an issue, right?
Yeah.
Even the
Yes.
EPOS damage at time, we can start engine because EPOS damage at time not makes the ground, right? The wiring is always connecting, so even EPOS is damaged at the time, we can start the engine, right? Even EPOS is damaged at that time, we also can start the engine, but some display or some machine performance is not good because of not control the EPPR exactly. But we have the auxiliary mode here, right? Anyhow, EPOS damage at the time, we can start the engine, right? All right. Any other question? No question? All right. All right. Okay. So today we did a Q&A session about the starting, stop, and then a pause and the monitor system. Hope to be clear all thing. So if you have some more question, please let me know. I will explain something more. Okay. So now we have some award time. Actually, we got a lot of the question from some people. So we assign some people to the best question award, best question, and then best homework. I'm not sure. Mr. Lee gave you some homework at the end of the each online content. So he got some information from your side. So best homeworker, we assigned one guy, and also best questioner is assigned one guy, two guy,
Yeah. Total 3 guys.
total three guy anyhow. So now, who is best question? Now, who will get the best question award? Two guys, right? So Mr. Dani and then Mr. Pei Son, you are the best question, best questioner. So you will get some award of the USB memory. Okay, two guys. And then best homework. He did a good job. The homework. I'm not sure. Anyhow, one guy should get the one gift USB memory like the excavator. Who get the this award? Mr. Chamloin, from Cambodia. Anyhow, three guys. We already assigned the three guys here, right? So now on the corona condition, corona situation, not easy to deliver the this one. So to some people will be there. I'm not sure when. At the time you will get some gift, right? So next training session will be DMS-5 and then VBO calibration and EPOS reprogramming by the Mr. Lee. It's also very useful for you, I think, right? So keep doing and then get more interesting, continuous about the online training content. All right. So today's session will be done. So see you again next time. See you next time. Bye. Bye.